play Puerto Rico Special Edition, 1897. Guys, this is so pretty.
It's very pretty, and like usual, I got my copy before Andy did.
It's true. It's true. I will say, so we probably have reviewed Puerto Rico before, but this is so pretty. We have to get it. We had to get it back to the table.
This is a very special version.
Yes. We had to get back to the table. We had to show you guys because it is just absolutely breathtaking.
And it's probably going to stay on the table for the next 3 weeks because it's very difficult to put away and get out.
But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legends of Nirvana. Now, Rob, can you tell us a little bit more about Puerto Rico?
I can. So before I start, this is was published by Awaken Realms. So Awaken Realms is, they're kind of well known for how big their board games are and how beautiful their miniatures are, and just really cool looking games like Nemesis and ISS Vanguard and these really cool games. Well, they've also started dipping their toes into restoration type games. So this is the second game of that series. So Castles of Burgundy was their first one. This is their second one.
And the third one is Agricola.
And that one will hopefully be released later this year.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Actually learning the game so I maybe be able to win a game because I cannot win a game against these two people.
To be fair, I can barely win a game.
Yeah, so, I've been on a winning streak lately.
This version was released in 2025. Overall ranking for Puerto Rico is 54. So it's a very well-loved game. Now this version of the game has an individual rating of 8.6, so really well-regarded. Designed by Andreas Seifert, art by Jacob Dizkowski. Sorry if I jacked that up. It's published by Awaken Realms, this version. The original one was Ravensburger with Aaliyah. And Aaliyah is still part of this.
Yeah, I was happy to see because I love Aaliyah rulebooks.
Yeah, the rulebooks are some of the best. So this is not available officially at retail yet. So you either have to pre-order it, and I saw one pre-order version on the Game Steward, which is already sold out. They said it might not be back until like 2028.
Wow.
But that one was $369, the cheapest version.
And that's probably not including all these bells.
No, that it is all the bells and whistles. But it's not the Sundrop. The Sundrop version is even more.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
and in the Sundrop, we'll talk about that in a minute.
But I did find a Sundrop version on Board Game Geek for $459, and then just the base game of the special edition, which is just the cardboard, was $175. And that's just the base game; it's not anything else. Mm-hmm. So it's pricey, but let me tell you, every penny's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're going to play this more than once. Let's get into quality of components because, guys...
10.
This is...
10.
Is that all we're going to say?
10.
10. I mean, it's so true because you have these marvelous miniatures, even the, plantations...
Or now called estates.
But the thing is if you don't use that, you've got these really nice...
acrylic
tiles. I mean, and they're heavier than those tiles. And I almost want to play with these because they just feel good in your hands.
But these are so pretty.
I know.
But you've got the buildings. You have really good quality, like the metal coins and everything. The storage systems and those boats. Those boats are fantastic.
To be clear, these is a separate add-on. So you would get these... Yeah. Well, that's a separate add-on too. So there's cardboard, then there's the acrylic tile add-on, and then there's the terrain add-on packs.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, the goods are fantastic. They're actually in storage crates. I mean, this is just breathtaking. This literally takes you there.
And he does. This is the Sundrop version. I didn't get the Sundrop version, but it's just as pretty as. I mean, the Sundrop is cool. Don't get me wrong. But without the Sundrop, it still looks just as good.
The only times I think Sundrop is really important is games that have buildings like this. It was great in, what was it, the Foundations of Rome. It blew me away when I saw it. And on these, just seeing all the tiles and all the buildings, they just light up. And that's, basically, if I'm playing a game like this, I want to see that. It's like... If it's not exorbitantly more expensive for it, I mean it was a lot of money, but it was
sure. Now like the original one gets a lot of guff, right? So a lot of I wouldn't say hate, but a lot of criticism because of the way the rule book was written and the things that are titled in the game. Some people thought it might have been, I guess, racist in some ways.
Well,
I didn't take it that way, but
it's pretty. I mean, it's definitely controversial. Let's
for
say
sure.
that.
But like in this version, you actually get minis instead of the workers. Just the brown discs is what they were in the original.
Yeah.
But these are also sun drop. But just another nice little extra that Awaken Realms did is they got 4 different versions of these. I don't know if you saw them.
Yeah,
But
because you got one carrying
You got
the
2
crate.
females, you got 2 males. So that's even. I mean, that just
And you're
adds
recruiting
something to
people.
it.
So they're
you're recruiting
they're now
them.
paid workers.
Right.
Yeah, so that's good. But yeah, no, but this is just breathtaking. This is like, I remember I 3D printed you a bunch of storage pieces, but like,
So yeah, I have the 10th anniversary. We both do, and I got the last one at Gen Con where they were selling them. But she 3D printed like storage cases and
Boats
and
and
the boats, and those were cool.
nothing like this. This is
And
beyond.
I've gotten like really nice wooden boats
Yeah.
with mine, and it's like they're nowhere near. I mean, it's a night and day comparison.
Absolutely.
You know, the only thing I will say is I could have got that one out and set it up in like 15 minutes. This one, it was not 15
It's a
minutes.
beast. It's a beast.
But why would you want to when you have this, right? So, but
Well, now I think we're going to keep it on the table and play it a few more times before
To make
we
it
put
worth it.
away, to make it worthwhile.
I'm afraid Agricola is going to be even worse.
Oh,
I don't even, and that's only
All
that
the
game is only
cards
like
and
that's
15
true.
minutes. It's
That's
going to
true.
take like an hour to
Because
set up. Like
it
15
took an hour to set up before on Agricola. Because, I mean, and especially when you have an app that you play all the time, and it's like, I could just get on the app and play this game.
Oh, that's going to be a bear.
It really is.
So
but
I already gave my score.
10.
If I could go above 10, I would go above 10.
I would
mean,
too. I would too. But I felt the same way about Castles of Burgundy. That version is just so beautiful.
And we still have not gotten that one to the table because it's so intimidating. I was
Oh,
intimidated when we got this out.
I love it.
If it weren't for you
Such a good
being
game.
here,
Mhm.
I would have been overwhelmed. I just was like, this sensory overload, too much.
I want to play Castles Burgundy now. Anyway, all right, so let's talk about theme. I think, like you mentioned, they did correct some things that make it a little bit more PC, right?
Yeah.
Like
more approachable, I guess.
more
you could say.
approachable. And I do, but with the upgraded pieces, like seeing the buildings, seeing the fields and things like that, it just feels even better.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Theme-wise,
you
it's
feel like
there.
you're in Puerto Rico. I mean, I'm thinking of the halftime show, the plants and all that. Yeah, just the look of it was, aesthetically just Puerto Rico, and that's what this looks like when I play this game. It's like I see it. I'm not.
I mean,
a big
like
fan
just
of the
like
music, but,
thematically, another little extra that they didn't have to do is you get just these little portraits, and there's a male side and a female side, but it just adds that little bit extra that just makes it feel good playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Even so, with the theme, rate it, guys.
10.
I gave it 10 here too.
All right, 10 it is. 10 across the board. All right, so let's move on to the rule book. Now, is it different than the original?
Yes.
The rulebook for sure it's different.
Yeah.
And there are some
It's-
aspects to this game that are unique to this version of the
Right.
game.
Okay.
But the way we played it is like the original, other than
Right.
the updated names of, we don't have indigo, it's fruit. You have recruiting instead of the mayor action. Those little tweaks are new.
Why did they change it from indigo to fruit? Just,
I don't know.
I was just
Maybe because indigo's not as
I don't know if
prevalent
Indigo
now.
died out in 1897
Yeah,
versus
I mean,
when they first got
maybe
there.
because it's just not as prevalent. I don't know.
okay.
I mean,
But it's those little things, but it doesn't change anything to the mechanics. So the rule book, it's a great rule book.
yeah, it's a 44
It's
page.
an Aleo rulebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna move this because I think you
It's
figured
huge.
out this is Puerto Rico. 44 pages long, so it's intimidating. But the good news is it's not all necessary to read to play the game.
Right.
So the first part of it here has basically a little bit about the special edition, very little, and then the components are all listed down here. They've got the different, and it's actually got the version with the buildings pictured too.
It feels like an old school.
Yeah, it feels like parchment.
Parchment.
Yeah, like it feels.
I mean, it's
really
a nicer
cool.
quality than what you get in
Well, again,
the
it's
paper
Awaken
that
Realms,
you get
so,
in Puerto
yeah.
Rico, the original. But as far as the style of it, it's got a lot of images, lots of pictures. So that's the good news. It's 44 pages. Also includes a lot of images. It's not that
And
much
lots of
reading
examples, too.
Yes.
So.
And they do have the Aaliyah call-out sections, just
Mm-hmm.
that is really useful to have if
And
you're trying
again,
to remember the game.
Well, exactly. I was going to say, those are great because you can go through those to remind you on how to play.
Yeah, so the actual gameplay runs to, then you go into the buildings, let's see, then you got the 2-player game and then expansions and alternates. So it really goes to page 21, it looks like, if you want to, well, that's some of the index for the buildings. It's showing you what they all do, which they have a nice cheat sheet for. These are nice,
are nice, by the way.
They have a nice feel to them, too.
And they have an extra one if you use the expansion buildings. So,
and yeah, they gave one for everybody.
Exactly.
It's been a rare thing lately. So yeah, I think they knocked this rule book out of the park. I don't think there was anything issues with it. I think when the memories you had of Puerto Rico and the ones I had were a little different, so we may have interpreted them differently.
but that's just us remembering it.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the rulebook.
Right, and then they got the
Because
solo.
I looked it up and clarified it and found it. So.
I'm not sure how to pronounce Puertoma. I guess Puertoma because it's like Automa.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks like
Protoma.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks weird, but yeah, whatever. It works.
I haven't got to try that yet, but my friend Matt did, and he says it plays very well.
I mean, given this and the history in a board game, so it's got the history of it too. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 10.
I completely agree. When I got my copy, I went through it, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about gameplay. So now this game plays pretty much dead on like the old Puerto Rico. So if you played that one, you played this one. But if you haven't, right? Basically, there are several different roles, and these roles vary based on player count. The number of them, not the different ones. But you pick a role, and you get to do that action, and then everybody follows you. Now, because you picked the role, you get a special advantage, and that is actually on these gorgeous tiles here. And so, for example, if I chose the builder, I get to build a building, pay 1 coin less, and then everyone else gets to build a building. So, for in this example, I have 5 money, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look to see, oh look, there's the hospital for 4 money. That sounds like a good deal for me. However, I have 1 stone place.
Quarry.
I have a quarry, which reduces the cost by 1. So I would actually only have to pay 3. Okay.
Well,
Unless you pick the builder,
you only,
you have to pay
even
2.
less.
Yeah, 2.
Because I did builder, I only have to do 2. Perfect. All right. Now I actually don't. I ended the game this go around, so I don't actually have anywhere to put this. But if I did, I would just put that here, and you could actually grab that building from the building pile that you want and put it on now.
The buildings are completely superfluous, but they look beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah. Now I do want to call out specifically that you cannot use the building you purchased until you get a worker on it, right? So it's an empty building until you recruit workers to do that. So that is one of the other actions that you can take.
Let me point out something you did that we didn't talk about when we talked about components. Yeah, we got this cool side, but we have a much more beautiful art side that doesn't have the mechanics listed, so you can look at it. But if you want the prettier side, if you're not playing with the 3D buildings, they're gorgeous artwork on these tiles.
Oh, cool. All right, so and like I said, so the other thing that you can do is you can recruit. So Randy's going to recruit because I told him. Yep,
okay.
I told you. So now
I think I'll recruit.
And he does what she says.
So basically, you're going to take the workers that are in the pool, and you're going to do 1 in each location until you run out of them, and then the player that chose recruitment gets an extra worker from the supply. All right. So now those workers kind of vary. So they're automatically a certain amount, but depending on the empty spaces of the buildings, you may end up with more at that time. Mm-hmm. So that part you'll have to read the rules about. I didn't do any of that upkeep, so I don't know them. And then one of the other...
I did all that.
And then one of the other things you can do is that you do need to build estates. Okay, in the previous game it was called plantations, so they're now estates. So you're going to take this.
It's called the planter.
And then you're going to choose one and you're going to place it here. And then that way you have another place to grow certain things or even a quarry to get you further discounts.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind that not all are created equal. So you have your fruit, you have your corn, and you have your sugar. Now, and tobacco and coffee. Now, the thing is, some of these require buildings to actually process. So
most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of them except for corn. So you have to have not only the right things, but also the right buildings and the workers on both of those places to be able to actually produce goods, which is one of another role that you can take. You can take craftsmen and actually produce those goods. Now, and that's pretty straightforward. So I could basically say, okay, I have one sugar, and then I have a guy on the sugar field, so that gets me one, and you're kind of pairing. Now, for example, I have 3 fruit, but I only have 1 worker on one of the fruit, and I only have 1 worker on here, so I'm only going to produce 1 fruit, even though I have extra, okay? Now, it does go around. Again, remember, this is a following action, so everyone's going to end up producing that round. There is also a trade action. So you can take the goods that you actually produce and then you can sell them at the auction house. That gets you your money. It's probably the one that gets you the most money most frequently. And so you sell
Unless
goods.
somebody say ships
I don't want to
time.
talk to you about that. So I could not ship anything. He kept hoarding all
I
those.
can sell anything.
All right, so you can sell those goods, and depending on the good is dependent on the price. So the more valuable the good, the higher the coins that you receive are. Now, then the other thing that you can do is actually captain. So guess what? The old world wants your goods, and so you need to send it to them to make the queen happy, to get you more victory points, okay? You don't get any money when you send them on the ships, but you do get victory points, and guess what? At the end of the day, that's how you win the game. And so now, boats have to be dedicated. So as soon as the first good gets placed on a boat, that boat is then dedicated to that good. Randy over here screwed us all by controlling what was in the boats, okay?
I did a very good job of controlling the boats.
I don't want to talk to you
I
about
was
that.
able to ship my goods, but
I blockaded one of the boats completely.
Yeah, but he blockaded the market pretty heavily too. So
Yeah, it hurt. And then the other
and then you
action,
got adventure,
which just gives you a coin. But
I think they were
however,
the prospector in the original.
right?
yeah,
But the cool thing about adventure is that nobody else gets to follow.
Yeah.
So you get a coin. And then I think the other thing that's really cool, like Puerto Rico's, there's going to be 3 rolls not selected. Those get coins put on them, so those make them a little bit tastier for the next round.
yeah, and eventually they will look so tasty that someone will pick them.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure this is either the first or one of the earliest in it.
Action selection.
Yeah, I take an action, everyone follows.
I think it is
concept.
the first.
And that was very unique at the time. There's a lot of games that use it nowadays, but it's kind of the central focus of this game.
Yeah. So overall, this is one of the classics that did introduce some new mechanisms that we see in many other games today. However, it's still a good, solid game. I think sometimes when you get some of these classics that introduce a mechanism, right, they were great, but then they kind of fade out because they don't kind of hold that context. This game does. This is still a great game.
It is my favorite Euro game of all time.
What we didn't mention is there's also in this set completely different buildings.
Yep.
You've got
so there's 2 expansions that came out with the original game. So this has got those built into it. So you can choose literally what buildings you want. You can mix or you can just do expansion 1 buildings or expansion 2 buildings.
Yeah, and it's also added cards for some.
Yeah. So the cards are part of the Protoma.
Oh, it's part. That's a solo play.
But there is a separate board that has I forget the name of the mechanic, but I think it's got something to do with the shipping part of it or the market part. But then there's also a smuggler, which is completely unique to the best of my knowledge. This one, I've not played 1897, which came out a few years ago, so that might have it. I don't know, but this one definitely does. And that one just sounds mean because it allows you to steal from other players, allows you to steal from boats, even allows you to steal from the market. So that just, I can't wait to try that. That sounds super cool. Yeah. But Miranda would hate it. She'd be so mad if I
now, unless we were all just stealing from Randy, and then I'd be fine with it.
To be fair, we were playing this game today with the friendly games.
Yeah, and it was still mean.
It was brutal and cutthroat, and people were hating everybody at this table.
No, you started it all.
How did I start it?
Well, the thing is obviously he doesn't feel bad.
No,
because I
won the game. Yeah.
No, but he started this, so whatever he got in retribution is on him. All right. I was just trying to build some
buildings. He doesn't care because he won, though. It doesn't matter.
I know.
At the end of the day.
Anyway. But I think Adam was the only likable person at the table. I'm just saying. The three of us were
I was cussing at him.
I'm pretty sure at one point, you decided to defriend me. If you were on the Facebook,
he'd been done. He'd been done.
Yep.
Because I picked Craftsman, which allows me to produce, and be like, I checked, make sure that he wasn't able to sell the good that I was able to sell, which is, one of the mechanics. I was like, cool, I'll be able to sell my stuff. And then he would still sell, or he would ship, more than likely.
I never marketed it.
Well, I know, but you would ship, and then that would get rid of all my goods, and then I couldn't sell anything. So I was broke for half the game because of Randy.
How did you get all your coins?
I took every roll I took had coins on it. The entire game, I always took a roll that had a coin on it. And I think one time I took the captain and didn't. But every time I had.
Whatever. Needless to say, Randy's a jerk.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's give it a score.
10.
The only challenge that I've always had with Puerto Rico is because we played in a tournament, and I was not expecting, I had not played it, I guess, hardcore like a lot of people. But there's certain strategies that are more likely to pay out, and finding out that the craftsman benefit, and now looking back, yes, I can see the craftsman benefits other players more than it benefits you, but somebody's got to eventually craft, or else you're never going to ship anything ever, or sell anything ever. So I don't like that there's a fault in that. To me, that's a fault in the gameplay. That said, I still enjoy this game a lot, and as long as it doesn't become everybody doing these victory strategies like corn boat or whatever, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a fun game. I'm just afraid that if you don't want to play this one in tournament unless you're very good at it. Just make sure you're.
Well, I love teaching this game too. So, and everyone I teach it to, they fall in love with it. I taught this game at a coworker's place last weekend.
Yeah.
And she turned around and tried to buy it.
Yeah. So again, the setup on this is intimidating. I know I was intimidated when I got this out.
But it's so.
Well, it's the same reason I haven't got the other one to the Castles of Burgundy to the table, because I could get Castles of Burgundy out in 15 minutes and have it set up and play.
So Mom loves Castle of Burgundy. I want to get out
the pieces of that one.
Don't play it until I come back.
Yeah, the pieces.
I love that game.
The pieces of Castle of Burgundy base game are awful.
Yeah.
And every version they created, the deluxe version of it was just as bad, if not worse. And then they finally came out with one and just knocked the others out of the park as far as what the quality was.
So it's the same acrylic tiles and 3D buildings. It's just beautiful.
As far as my score on the gameplay, I'm not going to give it a 10. I just, those little things, I'm going to give it a 9.5. Okay. I mean, it's a great game. It's just, there's a few little quirks that I think can bring it down from being a perfect
I'm wondering
game.
if the smuggling thing would help it, though. I have questions.
Oh my, she's going to try it?
No. No, I wonder
but it might compensate for that.
I might get divorced
that broken. What? I don't think it's broken because I don't play the game like that.
Yeah.
So, I intentionally make sure that I try and keep it fair and equal as far as not. I mean, I did produce corn, but I didn't do the corn boat strategy, and I didn't, and I was fine with selecting Craftsman, even though I knew when I selected it, I was not going to be able to either sell or be able to ship the way I wanted to do it and get to be the most advantageous. So I intentionally play that way, so it doesn't bother me. So I
But at that point, you said, I hate you, and I hate this game.
That's because of what you did.
And here's the reality.
If I get that passionate about a game, I gotta love it.
Yeah. The reality is I know Randy didn't do Craftsman. No, you did it once at the very beginning.
The very beginning, when I was the only one that could produce.
Yeah. And then I never did. You and Adam were the only ones that did Craftsman. And,
Yeah, Adam got third, second place.
but I was at the bottom, so you know I did have the least, but I think that's because Mr. Boat Hog over here. So no, I think I started out wrong. I realize that now. It's been a while since I've played. Scoring wise, I'm probably it's a good game. It's a good game. I think it's solid. I'm probably going to give this. A 9 until a 9.5. I do think it's really good. I do think when we played in the tournament, it did sour me a little bit because, man, it was brutal. But if it's just playing it with a group of friends, this game's fantastic. I love it.
I might be biased too. Like I said, it's my favorite game of this type.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't far from your score.
Right.
I mean, it's a classic for a reason.
Right, and it still holds true. I mean, that's the thing is
it holds up.
Yeah, it holds up because. You know, there's games that when we first started reviewing, we played, and then we went back and played them again, and I was like, nay, this is not what I remember. You know, this is not as good as some of the stuff that's out now. But this holds true to time. I think there's a couple of games that do that, and this is one of those. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast hanging out with each other and hanging out with you. Come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye. I guess I wouldn't have to keep my hair fixed if I just put this box in front of me the entire game.
Sold.
You're just bitter. You're just bitter because of my brilliant strategies.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's totally it.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. Today we got to play.
So what? Who won then?
Are you ready to play or not?
Play? We're not playing.
What are we playing?
Yeah.
Do I need to go home?
I'm trying to get this video started because I am tired.
Okay.
Are you ready?
To play.
To play.
The harmonica.
Play button. All right.